Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. And if you are new or newer to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing and joining me today for another Ruby Tuesday Design Team Project Share. And today's project is a simple upcycled mini notebooks, which are kind of like larger notebooks that were handed down to me, and I don't really have need for those bigger notebooks, but the smaller ones are very useful. I have been forever using those little A6 size, kind of like A6, or sometimes slightly bigger or smaller. And I find also that this would be some good stocking stuffer, especially this coming upcoming holidays for anyone in your list who might still be using notebooks, making lists or taking notes. So I kind of like this A6 size because it fits in the pocket. It's so handy. You could put it in your purse, tote bag, or anywhere in your desk. And yeah, I like taking notes. I am like I think I'm forever studying, and then when I went to school, I used this notebook to take notes of every stuff because of the busy schedule. I have this notebooks thicker than this though. Now that I don't need that thick notes from school, I like this like really thin pocket notebooks. I've already finished eight of those eight six little slim notebooks. Um, and I wasn't sure that I was gonna do film one, creating one. So this is pretty simple. I know all of you guys could figure out how to do it, or you have done this before. And if you just wanna skip in the end where I talk about the digitals that I use and how I decorated it. You could just do so, or if you want, you could craft along with me. So basically, it's like thin. I think this is a Dyson notebook that's the I am tearing apart. So I just took out um the binding, the stitch binding, and then I cut the paper to size, which is A6. This one is gonna be slightly smaller. It's kind of like the actual pocket size, which is a little slimmer in width. So I took 8 sheets of the original size notebook, and then as you can see, I am gonna be trimming it. I tried to make shortcut. I cut those 8 sheets of paper, which are actually folded into basically like 16 sheets of paper. So I'm having a hard time with my paper trimmer, but I don't want to go back because some of them are already trimmed. So just do whatever's easier for you. I'm trying to make things faster, but it's slowing me down. Okay, so and then I cut that full uh, sheet of paper in to half again. So that's a total of 16 sheets of paper and folded. So there are like 32 pages, or is that 32 pages? Times 2 would be like 64 pages, kind of. It's very slim, but that's kind of like a good size of notebook. So I also used the cover of that original notebook. Uh, so I missed it a little bit. I think I cut it a little shorter that I needed to. So I peeled off the kind of like the cover of the spine. So So this notebook, actually, I can't make two kind of like A6 because it's shorter, but I could make another smaller notebook on that other, the other half of um, that notebook cover. So folded it in half for, that's gonna be the cover, which will be covering with the digital. So I'm a little my cover was a little short, so I have to trim it. Here I'm gonna trim it off the paper. Also, it's nice to kind of like trim it so that the pages are even if you want it to look nicer. So I just lined it all together and then cut it over a few times with the X-Acto knife using a metal ruler, which I didn't quite get right because I know I was filming at that time. So and I use a kind of like, this is like a cork back repurpose what was that, placemat. So that's, yeah, okay, now it fits better. Okay, these two prints I'm using for the demo is, one is from the angel background and the other one is the dotted, I think from basic document. And I actually printed them in the actual paper, not that one that I showed, the dotted one that I used for the first sets of notebooks that I used. I ran it through the printer. So here I'm showing how I put it together. So what I did first is bind, it's a single signature, bind it with a 3-hole uh, pamphlet stitch, which you guys all know, which I'm doing right now. And I made it so that the knot will be on the outside of the notebook because I'm gonna be covering it, so none of the stitching or the knot will show inside. So next is covering it. I guess this way I went uh, the portrait way of the printout. Uh, Trimmed it, and so I covered the front first, as you can see. So basically we'll just glue the print. So I kind of like folded it. What I do with my cover is I do the corners first. So um it covers the corners and then kind of like it's a bit reinforced because there's several side in to the corners. And struggling a little bit with my glue because I'm running out. I almost forgot to glue the actual cover. Otherwise, I would have to do it over. Uh, there you go. Just using my fabric tack because it dries faster. But if I had plenty of time, I would have used maybe a different, less expensive glue. So you could use any glue that you want. So I um, kind of just make sure that I bend it over so that the spine, it bends in the spine. And I folded it over so that, the entire kind of like edge of the cover is covered. It's gonna have a little crease because of the fold in the spine, but that's okay. So I did the corners first, glued the corners, all corners first. And I think I wasn't very careful. I was a bit off centered, so I had very little space left on this side of on one side of the notebook for the cover. But it's okay. We'll fix it, and we could just collage or add a decorative trim to that. So I didn't worry about redoing it. There you go. So I kind of like slipped it under the actual pages of the book, and it actually tore, but it's okay. It's just a little notebook. You could be more careful, and I mean, I sped up this video. I don't work that fast. Of course, you could tell that. So if you want to make it really nice because you're gonna gift it, basically these ones that I made are I'm gonna be using it for personal use and for a project. See, that's a little short there, but it's okay. It's gonna be covered with the inside cover. So the front cover is done. I keep pressing it with the bone folder so it will kind of like stay close eventually. So we're covering the inside cover of the cover. Okay, so I just kind of like lined it up and then tore. This one is harder to tear with the ruler, so cut it short there. And we're just gonna glue it there. What was I doing? I think it was a little bigger, so I glued it instead onto the other side. And then I did a small diagonal cut because of the corner is kind of like diagonal just on one side. And glue it onto the page. Isn't it so pretty? I like this kind of like beige neutral dotted print from, I think it's a basic document, this one, the polka dot, and it's so pretty. So I kind of like made it like a little bit monochromatic with the cover. So same thing there, trim it off to the size, and then trim the corner with the little diagonal corner. Of course, you could do other things. You could ink it if you want to make it look more um, old and rustic, but I didn't go through all that. Uh, there you go. I think it's showing a little bit. It's okay. So the notebook itself is done at this point, but I'm adding a little bit of decoration because some of these notebooks I will be using in another project. So these prints are from the book club, and I printed it in cardstock because I think I made use some of them as tags and pockets. So it's a little sturdier. So just putting one pocket on one side, and yeah, just trimmed it, shaped it a little bit. I was like thinking, should I leave that? But I need to cover it if I left that space, that blank space. So to make it short, I just trimmed it off and then glued it. So I have one little pocket on that side of the notebook, which is so pretty. Yeah, just that little print made it even nicer. Okay, So that's it. I call this little one done, and let me go over the rest of the ones that I created beforehand. So this one's a little smaller because the notebook that I repurposed was smaller. So you could use any paper you want for the pages of the cover. I mean, for the pages of the notebook, and for the cover, any cardboard scraps. I've done this before where I used some stationery postcards for the cover, and some computer paper for the inside. So let's go over the prints and how I decorated it. Pay Prints from the Little Witch, because my daughter's asking if Heather has any cat prints, because a few of this will be for my daughter, and I made uh I framed it in an embossed, which I inked with a black inked embossed paper. And this one, the cover is from the angel background, one of my favorite prints. And I waited until Heather released her latest kit. At the time that it's been a while since I made this, like I think maybe a couple months ago or a month ago. And I used some of her sea glass prints in some of the inside covers. And then I have a few of the book club images. Okay. And some of the inside covers I use like book pages. Like this is a book page with poetry. This one's gonna be for my daughter and something whimsical. So it's a book club print with the pocket. And then this I think was from I think Butterfly Girl, maybe, or the other butterfly kit. This is a notebook I have for my projects. It's mainly Ruby and Pearlsy. That's This is another monochromatic, but I think this one is from a Christmas kit, and I uh, put decorated it with a Shakespeare illustration from a Shakespeare book. Yeah, some other pages that prints that I probably was gonna use. Okay, a little pocket there, or a tuck. Here's a print from the vintage stamps, and here's another print from the sea glass that I put over some paper. And this one is from, I think, vintage envelopes, and another print from the sea glass. And this one I didn't glue, I layered it because that one looks like a layer of a branch of the tree. And the sea glass kit is also so pretty. And my first thought when I saw that kit was to print it in vellum, or actually these are tracing papers. I printed it on tracing paper. So I have another project for that kit, which I don't know, probably next year. So I hope you enjoyed this project and video, and I hope you got some inspiration from this, and maybe try, like what I said, it's gonna be uh, a good stocking stuffer. And thank you so much for joining me today, and you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you in my next project. Bye now.